Good morning and welcome from down on the Solway. This is one of these, let's say, well-known beaches but not as visited as often as you might think. This is down at Castlehill Point, a lovely big sandy beach. A lot of it is not accessible once the tide comes in, of course. But again, if I just pan round, you'll see roughly where I am. Many of you have stood probably up on the top of Castlehill Point there. And look down on this beach. It's not the easiest to get down to. There's a wee bit of a scramble, and you can get off at the other end if tide comes in, if the vegetation is not too high. But I'll have a wee look at that today. But I'm off to look for a couple of things along here that I'll show you as we progress. But for the meantime, I'll just let you see this beautiful beach. It's hard to think that this is March, and the same time, 9 years ago, we were probably under about 3 feet of snow and freezing. Today it's probably about 12 degrees. There's not a breath of wind. Tide is out, and it's very hazy across the Solway there. Looking at Barnhurry Rocks, you can see the tide's a long way out. And if I pan round, you may just be able to make Hesson Island there in the haze and across to Auchencairn Bay. For those of you who walk the coastal path here, you can see it's up at the top there, follows that cliff top path. But if you look along here, as I say, there's a bit of a cave, let us say, one of the many caves along the Solway, although this one doesn't really go that far in, I don't think. It's a long time since I've been it, and I'm not going away for a look at it the other day. There's a couple of things I say I want to see before the tide turns, because the best place to find them is at low tide. But just look at that lovely sandy beach. Oyster catchers calling in the distance there, and not a soul to be seen. Tell a lie, I passed the jogger. Well, the jogger passed me. I suppose that's one way of looking at that famous saying there, leave only footprints and take only pictures, which is probably what I'm going to do today. Although it's not only me, it's left footprints this morning. I'm not just quite sure what species these are. They may be that pair of oyster catchers that we can hear in the background. They were on the beach earlier, so I'm going to guess that was maybe left by them. I'm right along now at the far end of that stretch of coast. I'm down just below a place called what I know as Jenny's Garden, which is in that dip over there. But if I just go a wee bit to the left there, you'll just see very hazy in the distance there. I'll put it in the dead centre. That's the top of Castlehill Point. Now this is low tide, and you can only really do this at low tide down here. And I'm told that many years ago they used to come and extract millstones from here. Must have come in by boat somehow and got them out. And I'm struggling to find them today. I'm sure somebody with Solway Firth Partnership could tell me exactly where they are. But this may be one down below where I'm standing. They would cut them out obviously in circles as the stone and lift them. And the nearest I've found so far, if I can tilt this forward, is there is a sort of circular bit there where they may or may not have taken them out from. I know if you go right to Rascarroll, you can actually, they used to do it there, and you can actually see a millstone that was never lifted. It's down near the water's edge, just below the Bareites mine, if I remember. Well, the spoil heap of the Bareites mine, so it may still, but I'll have a wee look about and just see if I can see any more. But I've just got to watch, and I would recommend this to you as well. Anybody that wears bifocals walking over rough ground is lethal. When you go to take a step where you think that step is, it's not there. It's a few inches off, and yes, I've fallen on numerous occasions. But I'll just nip down here now, stop this so I don't break my neck and you get a laugh. I knew persistence would pay off, and there's one there. Remains of a millstone that was never lifted. I'm not sure what sort of date that would be back in, but I'm sure given the internet and a wee bit search in Google, it'll explain when these were extracted from here and where all they went. Tide's coming in now. I suspect that's another one. Once you get your eye in, there seems to be quite a few of them. There's one there. And if I just pan a wee bit round to the side, you can see another one there in the centre. And I'll have a wee bit look. There's probably a few more lying about in here. As is coming back up to go up through Jenny's garden to get back onto the path. Interesting seating area sitting here in the wee cairn. So if you recognise this spot, you'll know where I am. I see an interpretation panel up there on the path, just up on the top there. So I'll head up there and let you see that, and you'll get a rough idea as to where I am before I head further along the coast. It's a wee while since I've been along this part of the coast, and had I known I would probably have come this way first to show you this rather than filming it on reverse. This is obviously a new information panel that's been put up, and lo and behold, there's a picture of the Millstone. And it actually tells you a bit about the millstones and when they were quarried, etc. So it's all there. I don't know if you can read it. I'll give you a couple of seconds to read it. But the best thing to do would be come a walk yourself, walk up the sandy hills, stop off, have a wee read at the sign, and you'll see it tells you a bit more about smuggling and shipwrecks, etc. So worth coming for a walk, even if you only go as far as the next spot I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes. Well, it'll be a couple of seconds, but it'll take me a couple of minutes to get there. If you follow the path along a bit from that information panel and head towards Sandy Hills, one of the first bits you'll come to is here at Gutcher's Isle, an old smuggling haunt. I know this place is the Bogle Hole. Not sure where I get that name from, but anyway. We'll go down there and have a wee look in a minute, but if I go turn in, you'll just see the top of Glenstock and Ruin. Again, apparently it was involved in smuggling, but even when you get closer, you look at the thickness of the walls, they're quite remarkable. It was stabilised a number of years ago, I think by Solway Heritage funded the thing here, but it's an interesting spot, a good bit stop for lunch if you're doing the walk itself. Just pan around. And one of the good things I was quite surprised was the state of the path, because when I was a ranger we used to spend about a week a year trying to cut it, and it was an ongoing battle along here, but it's lovely and cut back. I'm not sure who it was, but whoever it was, well done. But anyway, we'll take a wander down into the Bogle Hole itself and have a wee look to see what's down there. It's down on the beach now. You can see how secluded this would have been back in the day when they were smuggling. You know, if you come in a big storm, the water blasts it through this here. Probably where I get the name Bogle Hole from. But the tide's coming in, so I've still got a time to wander down through here. What else has been doing here? It's just a pity it's hazy today, but it's still warm for March. I'm not going to complain. This is probably as good a place as any to finish the walk today. Just looking back up through the channels there, and the Bogle Hole, and just the sound of the Solway behind me. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again sometime.